Yo, 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 what the deal? It's your boy X.E.L.O. Welcome back to the channel, y'all, and thank you for coming back. But if you are new here, definitely like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so that I'll let you know when I drop another video. If you are here for beats, I have a link below. It's called Beats You Need, or you can just go directly to the website. It's going to be XELOHH.com. And you can come here for all your beat needs, all your graphic needs, and all your mixing and mastering needs as well. That's XELOHH.com. Welcome back to your channel, guys. Missed you guys, man. Thank you for all the support. Thanks for all the comments that you guys leave below. If you guys have any future videos that you actually want to see me do, please put them below in the comment section. But today I'm actually going to be just doing some audio inside of Cakewalk. I know most people don't use samplers and sequencers, so they play like their guitars and their drum, and they already have the wave forms already made out, or they just make a beat using just the waves or audio files. So today, this is what I'm going to do and show you guys how to do it. Let's go. All right. Move my big face out the way. I'm going to go to the bottom this time. All right, so here we are in Cakewalk, and this is my dark theme. If you do want my light or dark theme, they are below. And also have a video showing you how to actually install either one of those themes inside of Cakewalk. But let's move right along. So I'm not going to be using any MIDI, no MIDI, just audio. There's a couple of things that actually do happen when you actually put audio files inside a Cakewalk. Usually you'll put it in there and it'll work perfectly fine. Any other time it'll actually turn itself into a groove loop clip, or groove clip loop. It's hard to say. I'm sorry. But yeah, it'll actually turn into one of those. So let's actually demonstrate what happens here. Because for some reason, one of my hi-hat loops always comes up that way. So I'm going to pull it in here. So this is my hi-hat loop. As you see, it set itself to the 4 bars, even though this is not a 4-bar loop, because it's not 90 beats per minute. It's actually, I believe, a little bit slower than that. Well, the way I know that this is on a groove clip right now is because if I actually go to the end of this, right, it'll just keep looping. As you see, it's going to extend the loop itself. That's how you know it's on groove clip looping. And if you hold down your control and shift to actually stretch, it won't give you that icon to stretch on there either. So what you want to do is either you click on it and right click, and you want to go to groove clip looping. That's what it's called, groove clip looping. Very hard to say. Say it 3 times fast. Yeah. So usually you want to turn this off. So if you click on it, it'll actually turn it off. And that was Control and L to actually do it. And to turn it off is Control and L as well. Or you can actually go over to this left-hand side over here where it says Show High Clip Properties. You click on that. And as you see here, it has the groove clip. And you can actually turn on and off the looping from here. As you see, it makes it into 16 spots to make it to the 4 bars. So it's telling you exactly what the measurements are. And the original tempo is telling me it's 139. So it gives you all that. And it's telling me that it's in the key of A. But I could turn that off. You can also do an audio snap. If you turn on audio snap here, it'll give you an option to do the audio snap stuff inside of the loop as well. I do have a video showing you how to actually use the audio snap to warp and maneuver inside of your audio file. So if you want to actually look up that, you can actually look that up as well. It says the average tempo is about 68 beats per minute. All right. And that's what it detected from the audio snap. You can also do, if you go up to view, you could do a loop construction, which is a Alt plus 7. And this brings up your loop construction setups here. So I'm hoping soon, Christmas present Cakewalk, that they actually implement a sampler in here so we can actually manipulate the sample and actually have it work with the actual audio files a little bit better than it does right now. Because right now you have to like put it on loop, and then it sets up these weird little markers that are not necessarily the beats, but it actually represents how many beats there are. It's telling me it's 139 should be the tempo. It's telling me the pitch, and this is the threshold to say how many nodes it's actually finding, and this is on 1/8 note. And you can actually save the loop. You can stretch it. It has a whole bunch of different things you can actually do inside of this groove clip, but I'm not going to use that. But just to show you that it does have that option in here. All right. So we know this is wrong, so I'm going to hit the Control and L. So this is the correct tempo of the loop. And what I'm going to do is actually do a Control and Shift at the end of it. As you see it change the icon to the little double arrows with the line in it. And I'm going to move this to the 3. And now as you see, it says that it's 78% of what the loop is. What it does is makes the loop off. And when you actually play it, it'll try to catch itself because you haven't confirmed that this is what you want the loop to actually be. So it's going to be trying to play at that 78%. So in order to remedy that, you want to make sure it's highlighted, and you want to do a Control and B, which will bounce it to clip. Well, I'm sorry, I have a shortcut. That's Control B. You may want to actually right click on it and go down to where it says bounce to clip. If you want to actually do a shortcut for your bounce to clip, which I think you should, because it's a very, very useful thing to actually have as a shortcut. I have a video showing you how to actually set up your shortcuts as well inside of Cakewalk. So now that we have the loop in here, you can do different things. We can actually slice it. There's 2 ways that you can slice. You can actually use your smart tool, which is on right now, and you see how it has this little eye icon. So what I can do is I can split just by going over it, and when your marker is over it, you can just hit S, and it's going to slice the wave to that slice. Another way to do this is to hold down Alt, and you'll see your scissors to actually cut or slice as well. So you can use the scissors, but you see how the scissors actually makes a fade in and a fade out for your lines. So if you know that you have a sample that you're going to kind of cut up, you may want to actually use this scissors, because it actually gives it the fade line, where as the S just cuts it exactly where it's at, and it doesn't fade it at all. You can add your own fader on there, as you see right here. It shows me I can add a fader, but we're not going to do that. So I'm going to hit Z on there, Control Z, to get rid of that. But I think I do want to keep this. I want to actually change this piece of the hi-hat. So if I go back to the beginning and play it, all right, so now I have this piece of the hi-hat ready. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to reverse this piece right here. So to do that, I'm going to go up to my processes. I'm going to apply effect, and I'm going to hit reverse. And what that does is reverse this little section right here. So now when I actually play it back, and I think I like that. So let's delete this part here. So I just clicked on it, and I'm going to delete that end part. I'm going to keep this piece here. But what I want to do is make sure that I have it to where it'll start at this whole 1 bar, and I'm going to grab it and go across. So now all of it is actually highlighted. I'm going to bounce it to clips. Actually, I'm going to highlight it and grab it. And what I'm going to do is hit Control and then D to duplicate it. I'm going to duplicate it to 4 bars. And now I'm going to go to the end here, and I'm just going to grab this whole thing. Let's hear how it sounds. All right, so let's do that. Let's change this. Let's delete that part, right? And let's pull this back, all right? I'm gonna highlight this one, and I'm going to add those at the end to make it cut like that. And I'm gonna do a bounce to clip. I'm gonna hold all of them, bounce it to clip, and now I have a whole hi-hat loop resampled. Bam. So now I can click on this and I can actually set the loop. So I'm gonna hold down shift and hit L, and that'll actually set up my loop points to wherever the measure of the sample is set. So if I had it set to here, I can do a shift and L, and it's gonna go to wherever I set that mark to actually be. All right. So getting right along with it, let's actually add a hi-hat in here. All right, so let's add this hi-hat. I'm just going to drop it right inside of Cakewalk. And you can do this with the Bandlab Assistant because it does have samples in there for free that you can actually use in your tracks. You can actually add those on here as well. If you have like, if you go to Cymatics, they have a lot of free wave files right on the site that you can actually use. Really, really good stuff. So I'm just going to zoom in a little so I can see the hi-hat here. All right, so what we want to do is move this hi-hat over. I'm going to hold down control and grab, when you see this little cross sign, means you can move. And when I click on it, you'll see the plus sign. That means I can move it around, and I'll have a duplicate of that same exact sound. All right, so I'm going to go here, right? And I'm going to do it again. Just grab it. And I'm moving over like 3 little cubes over until I get to basically like the 1.1. All right, so I'm gonna zoom back out a little. All right, and what I can do from here is if I wanted to duplicate these, I can grab it from this bar here and just drag it across, and then it'll highlight. As you see, it gives you that whole section. Now I know I can move this whole section over to duplicate it. So I'm gonna hit Control and D to duplicate, 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 and duplicate, 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 duplicate. All right, so I'm all the way at the end. And what to actually go back to the top of your cue, or to the top of your start, you can hit W on the keyboard, and that'll bring you back to the start. That's a little faster shortcut for you. All right, so if I'm over here, I can hit W, it'll bring you back to the beginning. Or I believe it's like Control and Home or something like that. But I think the W is a lot easier, just one button. All right, so now we have hi-hats in here. All right, so let's say you wanted to actually have the hi-hats do a little bit something different for each one, then kind of duplicate it over again. So let's go here into the channel where it says clips. I'm going to hit this little drop down, and I want to go to clip automation. So what this is going to do is actually give me an option to change the level of the actual hi-hat itself. And I'm going to show you an easy way to actually do it in the automation. So I hit, no, I didn't mean to hit pan. I meant to hit gain. So as you see, it turned red. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. So these lines here represent each one of the cuts. It's easier when you have a cut in here to actually use the automation. So even if you had like a vocal, or if you had this track here and you wanted to kind of make this louder or lower, I think the best way to do it is to cut it and then actually use this gain option to change it. So if you go over to the track you want, or the clip you want, you see this option here, this little icon with the arrow going up and down. That means I can move the whole thing up and down. I don't have to move the nodes. I don't have to create nodes with these little dots on here. It'll move the whole thing down. And once I pull it down, you'll see that it's shrinking the actual audio, or it's raising the audio. So either way I could do it. I can lower this down. Let's say we'll move it there. I'm gonna move this one down. So like every other one, we're just gonna kind of move it down. All right. And to actually shrink the screen like I just did is you hold down Alt and you use your scroll wheel to actually move that. So now what I can do is actually grab these like this and just do a Control D to duplicate it, and it's going to move it over all those same exact nodes how I have them uh, inside of those hi-hats. So now and if I want to make it really extreme, just to kind of show you that as you hear, it lowered it a lot on that track itself. So that's something that you can actually do if you wanted to. And like I said, it's kind of easy to do this if you're actually doing it for vocals or drums or anything you actually want in audio. I think that's probably the easiest way to do the gain on the clips itself. So I can just go back and put this back to clips, and it looks like it was before I actually did it. And you can kind of see the nodes in there. They're kind of hidden, but it's another way to actually see your stuff. Or if you want to actually see the track lanes, you can see it down here for your clips, and then you just click on the gain and it'll show it on here. So those are your track lanes. So you can actually have that set up to see it or hide it so you don't have to actually see it. But yeah, either way, it's all good. So let's add a snare. Uh, I'm gonna pull this down so I can actually see it, and I'm gonna grab it from here. Control, snare, and basically I'm just kind of going by how the grid is. So now I can just grab it from here, from this third bar, and I can do a Control and D to duplicate it, and boom, now I have my snares over there, and of course. All right, so I'm gonna grab this last one here. And now we can actually add a kick. All right. All right, so let's hear how this kick is gonna go. All right, so it has a weird, sounds like it has something weird inside the kick. So I'm gonna make it smaller. So I'm gonna make it just like the two little lines out of the section, and that sounds a lot better. All right, so I'm gonna grab this one, Control, just gonna copy these. All right, and All right, let's see how that goes. All right, so there we do. We have drums, all audio, no MIDI, none of that, just straight audio. So let's see if we can find a sample. All right, I'm just going to use this one here. So as you see, it's a little bit longer than the actual track, because I believe the tempo is 85 and we're at 90. So I'm going to shrink this down. As you see, it's 94%. So let's highlight it. Let's do a Control B or a bounce to clip. And boom, now we have it bounced to clip on this line. All right, so now what we can do is actually manipulate this sample. So I'm gonna click on this and I want to actually pitch it up. So I'm gonna hit my page up on mine to have my shortcut to the transpose. If you want to actually find transpose, you go up to process and then you hit transpose. And it'll bring up the same screen. So I'm gonna send it up by 3 semitones. Oh, well, you know, I already said it. So 3 semitones up, and I'm all right. So it should be a little bit faster now, but as you see, it kind of cut it off at the end. Let's see how it sounds. All right, so what I can do is actually cut some of this. So I'm gonna hit S here, give it like a bar, and I'm gonna take off this one. Let's delete that, and let's copy this one, and kind of hear how that sounds. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to duplicate that, and I'm going to split this here, and I'm going to duplicate this. 1, 2, 3. All right. And there you go. Now you have a whole beat made with just the audio and sample waves. Easy to cut up, easy to manipulate inside here. No MIDI or anything, just cutting up samples. All right. If you did enjoy this, definitely leave a like and subscribe if you actually watched all the way to this part of the video. And I hope you guys really did enjoy this beat I made with just straight audio. If you have like any questions about like the audio, chopping, slicing, any kind of moving the audio, if you're trying to move the clip and stretch it, you stretch it with this. So all these things are actually in here for you guys to actually use inside of Cakewalk by Bandlab. Yeah, I think that's the end of this video. But once again, it's your boy X.E.L.O. Until next time, people. Peace.